Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. I'm Satakshi and I'm your English faculty at iExamB, and today we will discuss some of the vocabulary, right? So this is one really important factor that helps determine that whether the marks that you will get in your exam. So vocabulary is actually one aspect which you can use to gain an edge if maybe your grammar is not in place, or if there are things like when you are studying vocabulary, it is something that is very very important that you learn. And if there are questions related to grammar that you are not able to solve, right, then vocabulary comes into play and helps you solve those questions, right? Right. So friends, now it is a misconception actually that all of the questions that come in our competitive exams are based on grammar, right? This is not the case actually. So many questions are there that some of them though are based on grammar. There are some that are purely based on vocabulary, and few that are based on context, right? So just if you have this misconception in mind that grammar is most important, well, it is important to a great extent, but not something that you cannot crack any competitive exam only with grammar, right? You need to have vocabulary in place, and also you should be able to understand the context. Having said this, vocabulary is also important in understanding reading comprehensions, right? Whenever you read any editorial and you feel most of the time that you're getting stuck at places, then the main reason would be that you are not understanding, you're not able to understand the meanings of certain words, right? And if those words are clear, if your vocabulary, if you look up for those the meanings of those words in the dictionary, then you will be able to understand the reading comprehension also. It becomes so easy after that, right? So now this is all that we covered. This is I said all this to highlight the importance of vocabulary for your competitive exams, right? And now vocabulary can be asked in many ways, right? They will not directly ask, give me the meaning of this word. Yes, in reading comprehension, synonym, antonyms or vocab related questions can be asked, right? So these are the type of questions. In reading comprehension, you may be asked vocabulary. You may be asked vocabulary in fillers. You may be asked vocabulary in error detection, where a wrong word is given and you will have to find out that spot that this is a wrong word that is given. Then apart from these questions, also in close passage, right, your vocabulary plays a very important role. Okay, now these are some of the types where you can expect vocabulary questions or based on vocabulary. And then there is one type, correct word usage. This is very very important type. It has come previously in almost all the exams, all the competitive exams, and today we will discuss fillers and correct word usage with the help of vocabulary, right? Now, so in fillers, right, this says the writings of the philosophers Plato have been analyzed dash and interpreted in countless ways over the past 2 millennia. However, his Republic still stands out as an intellectual dash of Greek socio-political commentary and a perspective utopian vehicle, right? Now, when you read this sentence, you have to, what is the pattern? You have to fill the word, any one word from column 1 in this blank, and any one word from column 2 in this blank. Of course, the word should be fitting as per the context, right? Now, when we talk about the context also, the meanings of these words, firstly, let's discuss deride. What is the meaning of the word deride? To be able to solve these questions correctly, you must know the meanings of these words. If you will not be knowing the meanings of these words, you will not be able to solve these questions, right? So deride means to ridicule, right? To mock someone, right? Clamor means, clamor is a loud noise generally made by public, right? Loud noise, right? Critiqued is something that is reviewed or analyzed, right? Conflagration, what is conflagration? It refers to destructive fire, that is in a very large amount spread, destructive fire. Then hallmark is, we know it is the stamp of purity, right, of purity. Platonic means something that is of the intellectual or non-physical level. It generally refers to the relationships, intellectual, okay, or friendly or non-physical. Okay, so these are the meanings of these words. Now try to fit these here. The first one, the writings of the philosopher Plato have been analyzed, dash, and interpreted. So critiqued, right? Critiqued is the correct usage here. So analyzed or critiqued and interpreted it in countless ways over the past 2 millennia. However, his Republic still stands out as an intellectual what? Intellectual. Platonic is not the correct usage, right? Again, hallmark of Greek socio-political commentary, so and so, and this is what? Conflagration. Here the correct usage is of the word intellectual. Hallmark, E is the correct usage. So here you will fit C and E, that is this hallmark. Okay, C and E, option B is the correct answer. Okay, next, a deal between the world's most populous democracies would be a welcome victory for Trump, whose administration has made little dash negotiating an end to its dash trade war with China, right? Now again, we should know the meanings of these words. Headway, we know that headway stands for progress, right? Embezzle, this is one word that we hear a lot in banking and majorly in finance news. And embezzle means to steal or to rob, right? Steal or to rob, right? Contravene means to violate. All right, contravene means to violate. Debunk, debunk means to quash something. Okay, prolonged means something that is lasting for a very very long time, something that is lengthy. Regimen, now regimen is what? Regimen is your prescribed course of treatment, right? Your prescribed course of treatment, and not to confuse it with regime. Okay, what is regime? When you talk about regime is the rule. Okay, regime refers to the rule. So when we talk about my exercise regime, exercise dash, and Ashoka's what? So exercise regimen and Ashoka's regime. Okay, so don't get confused with these in these two words, regimen and regime, right? And now it says whose administration has made little what? Little headway, right? Little progress. So headway is the correct usage. Negotiating an end to its dash trade war with China. What kind of trade war? Prolonged trade war, right? So AE, where is AE? In option E, right? So this is how you can get vocabulary in your fillers as well, and you should be able to solve these questions if you know the meanings of these words. If you don't know the meanings of these words, solving such questions will get really really difficult. All right, so again, moving ahead, the accused who have been arrested and their dash were allegedly collecting funds in preparation of carrying out attacks in India with the dash of establishing an Islamic rule. Okay, so now see, do you know the meanings of these words? Give it a bit of thought and see if you know the meanings of these words. Now, accomplices. What is the meaning of accomplice? Someone who is a part of your partner in your act, right? So accomplice is someone who is your associate, right, or your partner. right? Divisive, we all know, something that divides, right? Something that divides. Okay. Duress. Duress means something, that involves intimidation. Okay, this was achieved by duress. Intimidation. Okay. Seize, to seize someone means to take, or something means to take control. Okay. Intention, we all know, it is, what are your thoughts behind some act, that is your intention. And extol is when you praise someone very enthusiastically. Okay, enthusiastically, right? Okay, so now here when we talk about these sentences, it says the accused who have been arrested and their associates or their accomplices, right? So A will come here, accomplice is right? And again, we can also refer to the options, right? So here only E and D fit, so intention and extol, right? Again, preparing funds in preparation of carrying out attacks in India with the dash of establishing. So with the intention, right, with that thought process, with that aim of establishing an Islamic rule. So A and E are the correct answers here, right? All right. Another one, it says amid the late evening glitter of downtown Shanghai, dash by the shimmer of Huangpu River that dash flows through the city, the Indian consulate last month pooled some of the big names in the IT space. So do you know the meanings of all these words? Just give it a thought and let me know if you know the meanings, and if not, so we will discuss these, right? Now amplified means, if we start by amplified, it means to right. So stalwart means what? Tell me the meanings of these words very quickly. Stalwart means someone who is very loyal and hardworking, right? Hardworking. Again, meanings of other words also. Let me know if you know these meanings. What is feral? Feral is someone who is untrained, right? Someone who has just left captivity and they are untrained, right? So untrained, right? Amplified means increased, right? Languidly, what is the meaning of languidly? What is the meaning of languidly? Yes, so something that is done languidly means something that is done without energy or effort, right? Done without energy, something that is done slowly, right? Without energy, right? Perky. What is the meaning of perky? If we define some people as perky, perky means someone who is very cheerful and lively, right? And virile means, what is the meaning of virile? Yes, virile means something that is very masculine, right? Masculine. All right. So here it says, amid the late evening glitter of downtown Shanghai, dash by the shimmer of Hangpu River, that dash flows. So without energy, slowly, right? It can be either D or E. It flows very cheerfully, or it flows very languidly or without energy, right? Flows through the city, the Indian consulate last month, so and so, right? Now D and E can be in your last positions, right? So these options will be discarded. Okay, so now dash by the shimmer, right? So amplified by the shimmer, or you will say feral by the shimmer. So amplified is the correct usage. So C has a combination with the D as well as E actually. So languidly means something that is without energy, slowly, right? And perky means cheerful, but here actually it refers to people, right? It refers to people. So languidly is the correct usage. We will select E here, right? Now moving on to the next one. Now this is one pattern, friends, where you have to check for the correct usage of this word. It is based on homonyms, and here critical may have several words will be given to you, like in this case critical, it could be some other word in the next question. But now it means, what does critical mean? It has many meanings, right? And now you have to see if what these sentences, these are using critical correctly or not, right? So just see if they are using correctly or not. Right, so the meanings of critical, enough time given, and now critical means certain things, different things. Firstly, the mother was, when we read these sentences, let's try to find out their meanings, right? Critical means actually here, the mother was shifted to Ramaiah Hospital for advanced treatment as she was critically injured, right? So critically means severely, right? Critical, remote code execution vulnerability has been discovered in popular Cobalt Strike hacking software. So critical here in the second one means what? Important, right? Important. And Trump is critical of US Jews. This critical means finding faults, okay? Fault finding nature, right? So in all these sentences, critical has been used correctly, right? So we will choose option E as our answer, right? Similarly, here the word is crack, okay? So crack has many meanings, right? First one is Cobalt Strike is a commercial red team framework that's mainly used for adversary simulation but cracked versions of the software. What do we mean by the cracked versions of the software? So there is one term called hacking and there's other term called cracking, right? This is majorly used in technology, in IT. Hacking means when you are making use of the loopholes, right? So this is loopholes in the code and then you are getting into the system. That is hacking. Some people consider hacking as ethical, right? Why? Because you are only making the you are actually making use of the loopholes and it is not something that you are trying to destroy or harm, right? In the case of cracking, it is purely that is unethical, right? And you are disturbing the basic structure of a code in this case, right? This is unethical. So cracked versions of software is the correct usage, right? Here it says the Mumbai traffic police issued a notice stating it will crack down on rickshaw and taxi drivers who refuse to take short distance rides. So crack down means that when there is something that is illegal or something that is wrong going on and you decide to to track it and deal with it and give it a end the wrong that is associated with it. So yes, crack down is the correct usage. Okay, it is a phrasal verb, right? Neither crack will, however, ensure India's goal of listing the remaining leadership of the terror group. So neither crack is wrong here. Crack is not suiting here. It should be neither way or route, right? So these are not the correct. In third, the usage is not correct, right? 1 and 2 is the correct usage here. Okay, moving ahead, encounter. This man narrowly escaped an encounter with an alligator in Florida. So yes, this is what? An unpleasant meet. Okay, unpleasant meet. Every entrepreneur will encounter this question from investors when fundraising. This encounter means what? This encounter means you will face, right, this question from investors when fundraising. All right. Third one says the army said among the 2 militants killed in Bomai village in Sopore last night, one was encountering as the top commander of the Jaish militant group in North Kashmir. Now, if you are not sure of this answer, this sentence, give it a pause, think once more. Even if you are very sure, again give this video a pause and then think of this usage. Is encountering the correct usage here? No, it is not actually. It should be enacting as the top commander. So encountering does not mean enacting. It is incorrect usage, right? So only in 1 and 2 encounter has been used correctly. All right. Now overlook. What is the meaning of overlook? There are many different meanings. So let's see. First one says the paper gives a great overlook of where the minerals were found. So great idea. You can say a rough idea. Okay? A rough idea. Next is pet insurance is probably the one cost most pet owners overlook but should consider the most. So overlook means this ignore, right? Sachin Tendulkar is confident India has the depth and balance in their side to overlook the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup, but he lists death overs as critical to their performance, right? Now, what is this overlook? If overlook actually means to what? To ignore, right? But now when they are talking about being confident about India's features like depth and balance, so and so, they are these features are on India's side when it comes to T20 World Cup. So the semi-finals are considered important, right? So hence they will not overlook them, right? Semi-finals are important, hence overlook is the incorrect usage in this case, right? So here third sentence does not use the word overlook correctly, right? So here instead of overlook could be to reach the semi-final, something like this, right? Could be the correct usage. Overlook is wrong. Okay, here it says fourth one, the neighboring hot tub boasts a similarly spectacular overlook. This means what? This means vantage point, or a point that gives you a good view, a point that is on the top and gives you a good view, right? So that is also overlook. Okay, so here yes, so overlook can also be a noun and can be a verb as well, right? So here again our answer should have 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 4 is in option D. All right, moving ahead, compact. So compact also has many meanings. Let's see. Now this one I'm sure many of you will not be knowing one meaning of compact. So let's discuss it here. The folder inserter solution is designed with a compact footprint to fit perfectly into any work environment, so and so. Here compact means what? Compact here means that is something that is very tiny or small. Okay, compact footprint to fit perfectly into any work environment, so and so, right? A compact is easily your simplest and most effective makeup item. This is what? This is your powder, right? Home remedies can help you compact dandruff during the winters. Do you want to compact dandruff? Do you want that it comes in tiny form, or do you want to combat it? You want to combat it and not compact it, right? So this is incorrect usage. Some have suggested that Alaska is too unique and joining a compact is an affront to our sovereignty. What is compact here? This compact here means agreement, right? And this is actually the correct usage. All right, compact also means agreement apart from tiny, small and this powder, right? So the usage is correct in 1, 2 and 4, right? 1, 2, 4. Moving ahead, refuse. Now refuse also has many meanings. People who refuse to give up on a goal may not realize their decision could be taking a toll on their health and well-being. So this refuse is to reject something, right? So, or to deny, right? So this is the correct usage. Now among the refuse left behind is human waste, which doesn't decompose at altitude and creates serious health risks since climbers need to melt snow for drinking water, right? So now here this refuse is what? This refuse is the waste, okay, as in that goes in the dustbin, the waste, okay. And now third one says Amazon had previously sought without success for Ms. Khan to refuse herself from the investigation based on her past critical statements of the tech giant. So refuse is not the correct usage here. Here should be recuse, right? What is the meaning of recuse? It it is a legal terminology generally referred in your legal aspects when we mean to say that there is a tendency or there is a possibility that a particular judge may get biased because of his or her belief, something that cannot be changed, right? So and in that case the party that feels that the judge can be biased against them, then the party requests that the judge be recused, right, from that case, right? So recuse means to withdraw actually, right, or excused. The judge be excused from that case, right? So withdraw or excuse is the correct usage. So here third one does not use this word correctly. 1 and 2, right, are the sentences that have used this word correctly, okay. Now discrete. Now there are two discretes that we know with different spellings, right? This is one discrete and the other discrete is this discrete, right? Now there is a difference between the meanings of both of these, right? So the first one with a double T, what does it mean? When we talk about discrete, D-I-S-C-R-E-E-T, right? Now EET means something that is silent or not something that is obstructive, right? So this is not something that is unobstructive, right? Right, and this discrete is what? This if any one of you, those who have studied engineering and particularly digital signals, they know that discrete actually means separate, individual, right? Separate or individual, okay. So now the hotel entrance, initially hard to discern from the restaurant, sits discreetly to the right of the glass wall of Milo's restaurant. So discreetly means silently or in a way that not many can observe it, right? So discreetly is the correct usage here, right? And also discreet is used when we say that why are you acting so discreet in this matter, means someone is withholding some information and not being very open about what they are holding, right? So that also this is one of the usages of discreet, okay. So the second one says the newer digital phones broadcast their communications in discrete bursts of energy, right? So this discrete, when we talk about this discrete, it actually refers to silently, but what we intend to use here is this discrete, which means separate bursts of energy. So here this discrete is the correct usage, right? Now this one says if there are discrete sources, so is this discrete, right? Sources of stress in your life, a relationship, a job, a health problem, so and so. So but here, some people may feel that this discrete is also right, discreet is also right in this case, because they are talking about the silent sources, right? But when the sources have been specifically mentioned here, a relationship, a job, a health problem, right? So these are what? These are separate sources, right? So when we say sources are separate, then discrete is the correct usage. Here the usage is not right. Okay, so usage is correct only in sentence 1. All right. Now contract. Now contract has again many meanings. We may feel that okay, contract means something that we sign, right? But again there are different meanings to it. Now it says Stanley's contract has provisions for 2 different types of resignation, with or without reason, right? So this contract is actually the correct usage because it refers to agreement, right? At the height of the coronavirus pandemic, drive-thrus became a vital contract as restaurants closed their lobbies in an effort to curb the spread of COVID-19, right? So now this vital contract is not the correct usage here. Vital point of contact can be used here instead. Vital point of contact, okay, of contact, not contract, right? So it is the incorrect usage. Now here the third one says some who contracts the virus are asymptomatic, but in more serious cases the brain or spinal cord are affected and the virus can potentially lead to paralysis, right? So some who contract the virus, or it means some who get affected, okay, or infected, okay, or get in touch with the virus, okay. So contract is the correct usage here. Only in 2 the usage is not correct. All right, so we will mark 1 and 3 as our answer, right? 1 and 3. Okay friends, now descent. Again there are certain, there is this descent, so this is descent, there is this descend, right? So many meanings, and this is descent. Okay, this is the one. So dissent means what? Dissent is actually when someone is not agreeing, right? Disagreements, okay. Disagreements refer to what? To dissent, okay. Now what is the meaning of descend versus descent? Tell me the difference in these meanings. Actually both of these means the downward movement, right? Descend and descend. But here descend is what? Descend is a verb and descent is a noun, okay. The descent is quite steep, okay, and when you're talking about the verb, something that I decided to descend down, as in move down, okay. So noun के case में steep descent you can say, steep descent, or here I decided to descend down, to descend down the slope, something like this, okay. This is the verb, okay, and this is the noun here. This is the difference, okay. So now first one says the outpouring of discontent is creating a new challenge to President Vladimir Putin, who after cracking down on Russia's liberal opposition now faces growing dissent in his own camp. So yes, disagreement, okay, disagreement. The school has many students of Eastern European descent. Now again, this descent is not correct usage. Eastern European descent, we say that you also refer to origin, okay. Roman descent, my mother is of Roman descent, okay. Asian descent, so origin, right, whose families have similar stories of fleeing oppression. To underscore their commitment to the lie, Republicans who dissent from these lies are now pushed out of leadership roles. So again, dissent, disagreement, right? So here it is correct usage. Only in 2 the usage is not correct. So 1 and 3 are the sentences that use this word correctly, right? Proceeds. Now proceeds, when we talk about this is, one is the verb proceed, right? Like we are proceeding there, okay? And one is the noun, and this noun has only one meaning, that is your whatever money you have received, okay? Money or donation, right? So now, why did I say this? You will get to know in a while. Maxener's family will direct proceeds to a UA cause of their choosing, right? So proceeds means the donation that has been received, right? If all proceeds as planned for a mid-November launch, the Orion spacecraft can, so this proceeds means goes ahead, okay? If all goes ahead as planned. The project has no proceeds with the major inland port under development in Salt Lake City. So now this proceeds, it seems like the correct usage, but this proceed actually is the noun. A noun is required here, and noun only means, proceeds noun only means money or donation, right? It has no other meaning. So usage here is incorrect, right? Only in 1 and 2 the usage is correct. All right. Now usher. What is the meaning of the word usher? Now this also can be used as a noun and a verb. Now the central bank isn't likely to suspend ushering interest rate increases soon. Now what is ushering? Usher actually means to step into a new era, right? To usher. And also usher means when we are escorting someone, right? Now password manager Dashlane Lane wants to usher in, so step into this new era, okay? He moved out of his town to be an usher at the Queen's Palace. That is an escort, someone who escorts someone, so that service is known as usher. The person who does that service is known as an usher, right? The usage is not correct only in 1, right? Isn't likely to suspend. So 2 and 3. Okay, I'll make it 2 and 3 use it correctly. All right. Now wind or wind, just try this as an exercise. Which of the sentences don't use this word correctly? One is the wind, that is around us, the movement of air, right? Movement of air. And this is to roll or to finish. Okay, the center is getting ready to wind up such boards in about 10 states. This wind up, is it correct? To wind up such boards. This, do it as an exercise and leave your comments in the comment section below after this live session ends. Okay, so foil again. Security authorities of Yemen's remote island of Socotra have foiled an attempt to smuggle out seeds of threatened plant species, so and so. What is the meaning of the word foil? One foil, we know, the aluminium foil that we use, right? There is another meaning to the word foil, and it actually means, when you are countering something, or when you are, when you actually destroy someone else's plans, that are wrong. Okay, so security authorities on Yemen's remote island of Socotra have foiled an attempt to smuggle out seeds. So yes, they have kind of put an hold to those attempts. They have destroyed their intentions, who were trying to smuggle. So yes, this is correct usage. Second one is, she suggested Brits line radiators in their houses. Brits line radiators in the houses with tin foil. So tin foil, yes, is the sheet. Yes, so it is the correct usage. The study is a foil of primary and secondary, so and so. So when we talk about foil, is it the correct usage here? Foil actually does not fit here correctly. Foil here should be a mix of, right? So foil is not the correct usage. 1 and 2 are only the sentences that use this correctly. All right. So friends, this is all for today's session. I hope you have learned some new words, and I will also suggest that you keep on practicing these questions, and apart from these questions also the words, right? And one important source of practicing vocabulary are our editorials. Are our editorials that give us new words, and they help us learn their context and also their meanings, right? So make sure friends that you study read editorials as much as possible, and also that you practice the mocks at iExamB, which are now earned with your B coins, with your B rupee, that you will gain with more and more practice. Okay, the more you practice at our website, the